Hey, hey, Monday again, man. Seems just like yesterday. Welcome to the Angel Channel. I'm Brian, and I'm glad everyone could join us this evening. Hey, Tammy Joe, good evening. Spectra, always good to have you. Hope everybody's doing great tonight. Want to start the night off thanking my sponsors, Audrey Asciutto Realty here in Sebring. She's super badass. And my good friends up at Fried Okra Entertainment. Amazing creative people. And thanks for your help, support, and belief in the mission. So thank you very much. Inga, what's going? So it's already the 21st of July, man. Like the world, so the year is just zipping by. I was teasing at the beginning, talking about, wow, seems like yesterday, but it really does, man. And there's like a super intense time warp happening here. I think just everything is just going so crazy fast and things are changing so fast. That's one of the things I want to talk to Jan about with this evening, just how crazy the changes are taking place. Changes when I was in my youth, they would take years to like go, maybe a year, 2, 3 years, sometimes a decade. And now those changes are just happening in months. And it seems like pretty much the whole world is changing how it connects and how it works together. And our connection out in the universe is changing as well. Our solar system in the grand procession that takes 26,000 years for the solar system to make a complete orbit around the galaxy. And we're into kind of a new area in the galaxy right now that has a lot of different energies, a lot of really crazy stuff. I have some friends that really think that that energy is instrumental in kind of fueling the craziness on the sun going on right now. And I would not disagree. The sun just over the top, man. With I can't remember a time in my life that it's ever been so active, and not just activity, but big activity. There is a guy. By the way, we're about to be hit with a new blast of coronal energy, probably sometime tomorrow. So everybody just kind of hold on. They've been happening so fast; it's hard to even catch your breath before the last one. And that energy is kind of draining, defocusing, and just give yourself a little extra slack on. How you're feeling, like a lot of mood swings, and be prepared for some really crazy dreams, man. This energy is so intense about waking up dreams, and like they take on more of a kind of prophetic sort of feel to me, to be honest with you. So we'll see what's happening. There is a really great guy named Stefan. That's Stephan Burns, and he is a geophysicist that really goes deep into the science of what's happening on the sun, and has some really great graphics that show us exactly what's happening. And he also connects it up with astrology and some other things that are going on too. So if you guys are interested in keeping up with that kind of thing, I think he'd be a really great choice to go look into for information, because he kind of brings the science and the metaphysics into it as well. And I have to say, as long as I'm throwing out links here, there's a guy named Earthmaster on YouTube as well that is really great, and his little software model of the world, and how all the fault lines are connected, and where the the earthquakes are happening. It's taught me so much, and it makes the whole, all the stuff going on in the world and the globe and the physical earth kind of make so much more sense because you see how it's all connected. And speaking of connection and the sun, you notice like when the big mass of energy arrives, you see a lot of geophysical stuff going on now. There was like intense volcanic activity going on, super intense earthquake activity. There's been a swarm of over like 2,000 little mini earthquakes near Japan, and like the night that the energy hit, there was a 6.4 in Alaska, and then later on in the Aleutian Islands, right there, there was a 7.3, and then later on, and they were both about the same distance apart, and then later on there was a 7.4 in Russia. So you can just kind of see this energy flowing across that kind of fault line. Hey, Grant gets out. Glad you're out. Yes, Steven's amazing, isn't he? For sure. Hey, Arnie, good to have you with us tonight, man. Yeah, we'll talk about this in just a second. I've got a few more things to run by you, but I'm really excited about having my good friend and artist, Janne Parviainen, on the show this evening. And I'm especially looking forward to this one because he sent me a bunch of new work to show, and I've got a jamming video. It's just one of my favorite artists, and he's been with us before, but I think a bunch of you guys are new. I can't wait to share his work and his mindset with you. Before we get cruising into that, oh yeah, the new moon's coming up on let's see, today is the 21st. The new moon is on the 24th, so that would be Thursday of this week. So just be really ready with that new moon energy combined with the crazy sun stuff. It could be really crazy. So last week we did the patterns. We were talking about patterns and super simplistic forms. And I was talking about numbers and the way numbers can be little road signs for you. And I've mentioned this before a lot. There are four in numerology. I love numbers because numbers never change. 3 is always 3. And they describe energy frequencies, which is the reason I'm so stuck with these and find them such a useful tool. Anyway, there are 4 specific numbers in the methodology. I use Pythagorean numerology, and the first number is arrived at by your birthday, and in my particular case, that is the number 26, and you would write that with 26, and you want to reduce those 2 numbers, and underneath that it's 8, so it's 26/8. And as I have mentioned many times, every time I bring this up, probably to your like you're sick of hearing it, but we'll do it again. You take your life, like any book that you get that like is a book that you're looking for answers or learning from, anything that has a little bit of importance to it. The first thing I always do is turn to page 26 in that book, and invariably every single time it's got a little lesson for me, something I really needed out of that whole little focus of all of those words. Here's a line, here's an idea, here's a concept. And a number of years ago, and I'm going to talk to you about Carlos Castaneda here in a second. A number of years ago, I copped this book that's kind of Carlos. Yeah, we'll go into that in just a second. But there's a whole series of books that he wrote, and after all of that was completed, they put out a compendium book That's a bunch of his writings from over the course of all of those 5 books. And when I first got it, the very first thing I did was turn to page 26, which is this page right here, which is blank. And I was like, oh, what does that mean? And I was like, okay, be stillness. And and actually at that time, I was really trying to get a handle on my blank space meditation. So the other day I was talking to a good friend, and we were looking at this book, and I had lent it to them, and I took it back for a second and turned the page, like for the past 5 or 6 shows, I'm like, blank space, that's the answer. Blank space, that's the answer. Blank space, that's superposition, quantum field, and like the whole 9 yards. I just keep going over and over and over it again. So I pick up this book, and it's blank. And yes, that is in fact the answer. Blank space. And we're going to go there in just a little bit. Okay, finally, my last piece before, let's see, we've still got time. My last piece before we dive in with Jan, I really want to share the whole Carlos Castaneda. Here's how you spell the name. And Carlos, that series of books were the first thing that really kind of got me on my metaphysical path at 17 years old. And I still use them to this day quite frequently. And it's really fun to go back through them and read them again with a lot of different, a whole lifetime's worth of knowledge, and relate to them on all new levels again. So just really briefly, Carlos was an anthropologist, I think at the University of Texas. I could have that wrong, but I think it was somewhere in Texas. And he was doing a doctor's thesis, and the subject of his thesis was the use of psychotropic plants by the Yaqui Indians in Mexico. So he travels to Mexico to find some people to do research with, and he gets introduced to this guy named Don Juan. And Don Juan, that's just a bogus name for him, but that's the name they use. And Don Juan, yeah. Yeah. So Don Juan turns out to be an actual Yaqui Indian sorcerer. And he takes Carlos under his wing, and the whole point of all 5 books are Carlos's apprentice initiation and all the crazy things he went through, and how he was exposed to energy and the assembly point and the luminous egg, and all of this stuff that's actually the way it is, So I would strongly encourage you guys to pursue checking out some of the series, the Carlos Castaneda series. The Fire Within, which is one of the last books in the series. There's a chapter on petty tyrants that everyone living in the world right now could use. And actually over the years, I've kind of brought some people out of a really dark place, turning them onto that and getting them into that mindset. Yeah. So, all right, let's check out some comments here. Carlos' books and Robert Monroe's books were my real starting line. Yeah, right. And they're still just as good as they were the first time you read them. Yeah. Journey to Ixtlan. There you go. Going through Tales of Power now. All right. You guys are ahead of me, man. I'm very happy. I think that you'll find them really entertaining. Some of the little things he does with formulas on how to put different peyotes and stuff together, get a little tedious. So just skip through those and just stay on the initiation. In the very first book, one of the first things that happened was Don Juan had Carlos come to the house, cabin out in the desert. And Don Juan wouldn't let him in until he was able to see the green spot on the porch to find his power spot. And to this day, every time I go in a room, I'm looking for my green spot. There's a lot of good jewels in there, a lot of good gems, man. So enjoy yourself. All right, let's see. All right, without further ado, and by the way, I'll be doing some readings at the end of the show. So anybody that's looking for a reading, you know where to get your name. I am just over the top, like about over a decade ago now. I'm breezing through some art stuff on the internet, and I run across this picture of this guy laying on a table that's just blue light lines, and the entire room, man, wall, ceiling, every object in the room is traced around with white lines so that the entire room looked like it was just electric energy. That just set me on fire. And that particular image kind of really ignited my passion to want to do light painting myself. And over the course of years, I've been fortunate enough to hook up and become friends with Jan and see his work. And, one of the mottos for my life, I've always I've always said this, and it's like, live your art, be whatever you choose to be, live it to the max and totally be that. Don't just play at it. And I have to say that as I watch Jan's work grow over the years, like, I don't know anybody else that really embodies that more than him. And his attitude about his creative, his work ethic, just really something I admire. And he's really a multifaceted guy. He's like put out a crazy crazy comic book. He's a sick puppy, man. His sense of humor is very twisted, very sick. And yes, so we'll talk about that in a few minutes. So without further ado and bullshit from me, I'm happy to bring on my friend Jan. What's up, man?
Oh, nice to be here. Thank you for the invite.
It's late there. What time is it in your world? 4 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah, it's 4 o'clock. Yeah, just a little bit tired. But it's usual. If I'm in the studio making light paintings, it's like this is normal.
Yeah, I know. Actually, how many nights have just gone by just going, oh, that's really great. Let me just do one more.
Yeah, too many.
Yeah, that's for sure.
It's actually funny. I have discussed in a journey the Ixtlan book in my bookshelves in my to read book like pile. So I have to go to that one next.
Yeah, nice. So before we get off into the work itself, I wanted to ask you, now there's like this whole AI thing has just really kind of skewed my creative world a little bit. I have to be honest, man. It's like the last few light paintings I load up, the comment, I get messages of people asking for the AI prompts to do to do it. And
yeah.
It's, I don't know about you, but art has always been something wondrous to me. Like the ability to take a blank canvas and a bunch of colors and make this reality on a canvas with your hand and your mind and your will and your love and your creativity. That's the thing that has truth in art to me, and the thing I relate to when I see it. And when I see something like I did that with that image that you did with the room, I was like, how the hell did he do that? And those are always treasures. I mean, those are the great moments when you just relate to somebody else's truth and you connect with it and you add your own. And, that seems to be going away now. And I just wanted to know, I know you live in a completely different part of the world than most of us here. How is that impacting your world?
I don't know. I just I respect the original art. It's like in oil color painting. It's like every single touch of the brush with the oil color is like one thought in the complete work. So basically, it's like a painting is like a time map or something. It's like it consists of these single ideas that come together as a whole.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, it sends this totally different energy than like a single AI created image. That it's just kind of like empty in itself.
Yeah.
I
To me, one of the best things about being an artist and pursuing that has been able to reveal, like, that's how I process the world. I see and I experience, and then boom, and how it is, where your style evolves over decades of different types of things, and all of those stylistic changes and the way you do stuff. Like, I went through this period where I just did black and white stuff. I painted everything black, man, and then just did white metaphysical puzzles on all of those surfaces, and I stayed in that for a couple of years, and then I haven't done that for a long time, and lately I've been doing mainly light painting, and that's been main form, but I still do lots of hand stuff, and I do, oh. Yeah, you'll dig this. I did my own aura sort.
That's amazing. That looks really nice.
It's kind of crazy. I hadn't really pushed any pigment around in a long time. And I got to tell you, man, I just absolutely love that.
It is so enjoyable. Like you see from the background, I have these new canvases coming there. So I'm starting a new series of oil color paintings also. I want to go back to the basics also.
So, I've been really kind of searching inside it's kind of, I find myself searching for inspiration, and like, it's like, it just kind of like sucked the joie de vivre out of it a little bit. And I'm trying to come back around to finding the goodness in it, because AI is here. I mean, that's not going anyway, and that's the way people are going to be doing it. I've made a little inroad into trying to do that myself, and I haven't found it satisfying at all. And my own personal bias about that has kind of kept me from really wanting to dive in full force. But where do you see it going? Where do you see the future of art? Where do you do you sell stuff, and like, do you do galleries and all of that? And
yeah, I do the traditional way. I sell art in the galleries and get commissioned work, and actually I don't find AI to be like a threatening thing for artists. It's in every kind of like new movement in the art, the artists have to like take it as a tool. And I think it's in that point now that AI is basically it's empty without the right tools, kind of like the right person to do it. I have friends who use AI like as an incredible source for new art, and they'll do like really impressive stuff. And it's not this like easily generated like this basic AI stuff. It's they take it to the next level, and there you can see that it has like this creative input in it, and it's totally different than the most of this nonsensical AI stuff you see on the internet.
Right.
So I think it's a tool for an artist, and not everybody has to use it. It's like if you do your own thing, it's still the same art, and I think it's even more important to do the stuff you do normally, because it's like it has the energy that somebody has actually created it, and you can sense it in the world.
Yes. I mean, that's the thing that draws me, that always drew me and compels me to do that myself.
Yeah.
Like seeing like the crazy, you know, I've been an average. I haven't made my living with my fine art. I've kept my fine art and my magic kind of like separate, and I did commercial work, advertising, direct commercials, and in that sphere for all my life. And now all those things are kind of just disappearing, you know, like those things are not around anymore. And I find myself searching a little bit for, you know, well, what's next? You know, what's the next purpose in this? And making your living as an artist or a creative person now in this environment kind of seems like, you know, being an artist now is kind of like being a blacksmith.
Yeah.
You know,
this kind of
cool to know, but does anybody use it? No.
The illustration job and this kind of like advertisement jobs, I think they are more subject to the AI generated work. That's true that it's taking the work from many people. But you just
no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Stuff like with your original art.
Say that again. I cut you off there, Jan.
Yeah, you just need to do original stuff to compete with this AI.
Yeah.
It is still a different level.
Yeah, well, it'll be interesting to see where it goes. I think even though there's a million opinions about where it's going to go, we have no idea.
No.
You know, and the whole supercomputing thing and the brain chip thing, like, wow, man, we're living in a real science fiction movie.
Yes, yeah.
It's kind of crazy. Yeah. It's an interesting time nonetheless.
Yeah. We have to see if they're twisting into the dystopia area or the nicer side of the sci-fi.
Yeah. So let's change it up a little bit here, and let me. I'm going to bring up the video, your most recent video in the black room with the white line guys, and yeah, here we go. Let me find that and. Dude, that is just over the top. Just over the top, over the top, over the top, man. I just so love that. You know, I'm sitting here watching it going, and the thing that jumped in my mind first was, damn, that's a lot of paint sticks.
Yeah.
I was thinking by the case with that. So tell me about the mindset behind that, and just give us some details on that piece.
Yeah, I love doing that job work. It was like a real like exploration into my own mind, and it's funny that you get this like physical space made totally from your mind, and you can walk in it. I think
yes,
it's
like,
so
oh
fun.
man, when you walked out onto the little pier thing out there, I was like, wow,
Yeah,
that's just amazing.
This
Where
for
is
an
that
exhibition.
space?
Sorry?
Where is that space? What is that room?
It's a new exhibition in Helsinki, but that has like 70 artists in like this unused building. It is actually one of the most popular exhibitions in Finland at the moment. They have had like was it like 16,000 visitors in just 1 month now.
Wow.
But they gave like total freedom for the artists to do whatever they want. So I ordered this total black room, and I just went there and checked out the space and started to improvise. I didn't have any clue what to do. I was just like, okay, we will do this staircase there, and let's see from there where it goes. It was so much fun.
Oh, dude. Yeah,
like,
I was jealous.
2 weeks or
I
something.
love that room. What a great space, man. So the line guys, dude. You know, I sort of consider you the father of the line guy. I know there's a lot of people doing that, their version of that with light painting and stuff now, but yours have a particular feel about them that I haven't really seen anyone else do. And I wanted to just ask you about the genesis of those. Where did those guys come from, and how have they evolved over the years?
It's just like experimentation. When I started light painting like 15 years ago or something, I just like experimented with any kind of light tool and whatever I had in mind. I just like was running around in the photo area doing everything. And then I at some point thought that what would it look like if I would trace myself with this LED stick. So it was basically the first light character I made, and it was much more abstract than the ones I do now. So at some point I found this little keychain LED lights, the really small ones that you have also. Yeah, those ones. And with those ones, I could like trace my body like really accurately. So from that experiment, that the whole thing started to go like, woof. And at some point, that was like, I got then like a commissioned work to do a window painting, and there I thought that this style might work also for the drawing, this kind of line character.
Yeah,
and
hang on a second. I'll bring those up.
Yeah. So
hang on.
Yeah. From my Flickr pages, you can find these ones. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
And they're so easy to improvise to do them, because it's a human character. It's something I know by the heart already to do. So. And I
was amazing at how they look rounded, like as you were doing the pan through the room in the video, how like, you know, the round, like you got the perspective on it. Like it looked like they were just sticking out off the wall. It's really amazing.
Yeah, and I love how easy it is to, you can trick the mind so easily with these kind of like really strong lines. This is also for the exhibition I made this, they have this like the museum store behind, so they wanted to have this illustration on the windows also.
Yeah, I love these guys. I want to collaborate with you. I want to do something with the line guys.
That would be nice. And this work is like that. This black room work it's anamorphic, so it looks this way only from one point in the room, and if you move around the room, you can see it's totally twisted. Everything's like wrong from the other angle.
Kind of like an Escher thing, right? Yeah, the twisted perspective of reality, which we're living in more and more every day.
Yeah, that's why you see me in the video just like jumping around the room, because I need to go to the anamorphic point all the time to see what I have actually done. So I need to So, but that's actually the point behind the work that you said, that it's like the dialogue that we need now, because everybody has their own, like the subjective perspective that's something that they just see, and you need to understand their view to get some kind of dialogue between the different perspectives.
Oh, yeah. Awesome. Super. Okay, let's see. I know you've been doing well, yeah, I wanted to talk for a second too about the Postman. You know, that's another thing that you and I connected on, was like you were right in the middle of your book, and I was doing my Creepy Baby Taxi series, and man, until you do it, you don't know how much work it is to actually like do it from beginning to end. It's easy to start, not that easy to finish. So anyway, just tell us about this book a bit, and if there's a specific website that people can go to get that, you know, let me know what that is, and I'll post that.
It's suistobooks.com. It's you can see the Suisto how it's written in the book. Actually, I think there's a website also in the
Awesome. So you know, what got you going? What was the mindset behind this guy?
Yeah, I read Bukowski's Post Office, and I immediately like it resonated in me, because I had been working before my artist career like 4 or 5 years in the post office delivering post. I was like, this is so good stuff, so angry and so like nasty. So I was like, I want to do my own version of my experiences as like a graphic novel, and just like let myself loose. I'm allowed to write everything, and it's at some point like true things that are in the book. Unfortunately, not everything happened to me, but something that has happened to my friends, and it's just like gathered everything into this one character, that it's like a guy who's like really into lots of mess.
So have you had any luck cracking the whole like comic book publishing side of it? Like, or are you doing all your self-published?
Most of my work I do with my own publishing. It's the Suisto, it's my own publishing thing, but also getting more and more commission work as from graphic novels. So it's like it's a mixed bag. It's really difficult to get like a publisher in the graphic novels or comics because it's such a marginal thing. They
I
don't
gave up,
see
man.
money in
I'm
it.
like,
Yeah,
wow, this is too big a game, bro.
yeah, it is difficult.
Yeah.
But it's easy
Sure.
nowadays to build your own like small publishing. I actually even publish some of my friends' work nowadays. So
Um, so lastly, like, what's coming up for you? What kind of projects you got going on? What's on the board coming up?
yeah, it's actually I'm doing two graphic novel projects now at the time. Other one is actually a light painted graphic novel also. It's like part light painted, like the creepy baby thing, and part like hand drawn. And then I have another graphic novel project that I'm just like studying on. It's about I have a balcony. I live in the center of Helsinki, and I have put my balcony so full of plants, things that you can eat that they can grow on your balcony. And I'm doing like this research of how it feels, how it like is it how it benefits my life to grow, to be around vegetables and plants in my own balcony. And I'm doing this like okay, now this is like this is how it feels. And it's actually it's surprisingly big difference in your life to care about balcony full of plants. It's like meditation. It feels so good to be around the plants.
Oh, I'm a bonsai artist. I've
I
been
love
doing
bonsais
bonsai
also.
for 25 years. Yeah.
Yes,
And they're my kids, man. And I spread the wealth wherever I can.
yeah,
The whole plant world is amazing.
yeah. So I'm making a graphic novel of the project. It's like a study of myself in the process of growing vegetables in the balcony.
You familiar with a kind of obscure artist called Archin
I don't know.
Dude, I'll
Might
send you a link for this tomorrow, man.
really.
This guy was like a Renaissance period guy, and he made portraits of people out of different things, vegetables among them. And the whole face
Yes, I
was
know actually.
vegetables.
Yeah.
And he did one with the whole face was fish, different kinds of fish. And
I do know that actually. Yes, I know. Yeah.
yeah, super, super crazy. You ever get to America?
I've been thinking to come. It would be really nice. Yeah.
Yeah, well, if you're ever in Florida, yeah, place to stay, man. I'd love to, dude. I would
Definitely.
love to go out in a dark ass place and light paint for about 4 or 5 hours, man. That would just be a blast.
That would be
Speaking
so
of
nice.
which, I did not add these. Let me show these before I get out of this thing. Yeah, these are really great too. Color versions.
Yeah, these are actually decorations for the same exhibition that I made, the Black Room thing. So this is like a UV reactive, like
Yeah, really,
decorations
really
for
nice.
that. Yeah.
And then
Those are also just improvisations.
this is nuts. I remember when you
Yeah,
posted this on Facebook. I was like, "What the hell, man?" That's a whole new level of that.
I love car wrecks. They are like sculptures that you can find in forests or like sand pits. It's like I always it's like I have to complement that with light. It's a good combination this because it basically this light painting is like energy and this burned old car wreck is basically
Yes.
kind of like dead. So you get it to seem like this energy is flowing from that object.
Do
And
you
this is
ask?
really
Are you clairvoyant? Do you astral project, or have any abilities like that to like go travel around in the astral? Because your stuff relates to me, like that's the reason I like paint, is because it more closely simulates the energetic world that I experience when you're by yourself and you're practicing, and like you experience this world, and like the light, I mean, that's actual energy. So it's always appealed to me for that reason. And that it seems like you're kind of doing the same thing. Like these come from another like plane.
Yeah. I think I'm like an extra sensitive person. I like, you sort of like read people and like moments really, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe something to that side. And this is actually for a one-page graphic novel that was a commissioned piece. So this is going to be one of the panels in the page of the comic.
Yeah, fantastic piece. It's just so alive, like all of those, like you feel the flow of it, especially like coming up from the bed and like, oh my goodness, it's like that's energy. That's like actual energy.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, really fantastic work, man.
Thanks.
Let me get to my guys and get them a little bit. I got a couple readings here, and I'd love to do one for you if you're up for that. And
that would be nice.
Yeah. All right. So, as always, let's create some sacred space. Light of the source, I banish and clean this space. I make this place pure. Light of the source, banish and clean this space. I make this place pure. With the brilliant light of the source, banish and clean this space. I make this place pure. We come together tonight in joy to share our energetic connection and our connection to the light. We ask that the angels be with us this evening, share their knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. And that we have eyes to see, ears to hear, and the wisdom to understand. And with absolute gratitude, our wish for absolute unconditional love and our wish for bliss to the source, we open our circle. All right. We're going to take our 3-breath cleansing breath down to blank space. Let's see. All right, we're going to inhale really deeply with our solar plexus, fill ourselves up. We're going to be pulling in energy, bright gold, warm, healing energy, and you're taking it in through your nose. Let that filter throughout every part. Just infuse your aura and every part of your body. We're going to do 3 of those. On the exhale, we're going to ride down to blank space. So as your breath runs out and the prompt runs out, we'll be at the place where you stop and freeze, and your breath, everything, you're in a moment of absolute stillness, and we'll hold that for 5 or 6 seconds. All right, here we go. Inhale in through your nose. Here's your solar plexus. Really pack it in. Bright gold energy, and release. Totally relax. turning off the machine, sinking deeper into the stillness. No mind. Deeper. Silence. All right, inhale. Packing in as much as you can. And release. Sinking deeper to the beautiful stillness. Into the quiet. No thoughts. No future. No past. Deeper. Silence. All right, one more. Inhale. Really make it count. Infuse your whole body. And release. Into the quiet. No mind. No thoughts. No world. Deeper. Silence. Okay, I want you to just hold this space for a second. Take some really shallow breaths when you need to breathe in. And stay in the stillness. All right, let's bring it back a little bit. So, Jan, I'm going to do your reading first. I'm going to do pull three cards. If you have a specific question, beam it to me now. Okay. Words of wisdom from my good friend Jan. Words of wisdom from my good friend Jan. Words of wisdom from my good friend Jan. All right. So, wow, this is all about the earth and like the material stuff, man. The first card was the Eight of Pentacles. And the Eight of Pentacles is the Apprentice card. That's where you've kind of like chosen something new that you're doing, and you're adding to that, and you probably have somebody that can show you some of the stuff that you want to get going and take you under their wing a little bit. This is not a mode where you get paid a lot, but you're the information that you're getting and the foundation that you're building for the future is pretty freaking amazing. Then the next card is the Two of Pentacles. All of these are the earth cards. And the Two of Pentacles is about a working energetic system between that can be between partners, business partners, that can be between people you have relationships, it can be between you and whatever you're working on, but it shows the healthy flow of an energetic system with positive and negative flows as well. So it's a really positive card. And the last card is the Ace of Pentacles, which is about it's the energy to start any new endeavor and see it actually materialized in the real world. So it sounds like you're working on something really cool that's new and exciting, and that you've got the information you need and the people that you need to connect with to do that. And more importantly than all of them, it's like the heavenly blessing. Like all of the aces are the archetype of that energy. So this everything about this reading, all three pentacles, and they're all really good pentacles, are about something really great materializing for you in the not distant future. Like it's probably actually it's already happening, isn't it? Yeah. All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I love the design in your cards. They're so beautiful.
Thanks. They're like part of me now. Like I can't. Yeah. All right, Inga, this one's for you. Concentrate. Words of wisdom for my friend Inga. Words of wisdom for my friend Inga. Get still. Words of wisdom for my friend Inga. Wow. Okay. The last one was Pentacles. This one's the Wands. First card is the Seven of Swords. And the Seven of Swords represents kind of a challenge that you're having, that you're being challenged by usually competition. And this is the place where like there's seven people with staffs and wands, and one guy is up on top of a hill and he has the advantage, and he's surrounded by six other people that are attacking him. But because he has the advantage in that zone, the outcome is usually represents him having a victory. And then followed by that is the Six of Wands, which is success in whatever you were doing. So whatever challenge you're about to meet, you're going to absolutely ace it. And then the last card is the Emperor, which represents the big cheese in charge and the person that with one word can say yes and open doors for you and give you the authority and clout to make what is on your plate actually happen. So, oh man, I keep dropping cards. All right, so meet your challenge. You're going to win. Enjoy your success and spread that energy around into everything else you're doing, especially the big cheese when you get a chance to meet the person that's on top. In every situation, there's always somebody in charge. And when you have that person on your side, then you are in good stead. Also, that can absolutely apply to your magical process as well. And yeah, there we go. All right, Spectra. This one's for you. Concentrate. Hang on, I'm getting a good symbol here. Words of wisdom for my friend Spectra. Words of wisdom for my friend Spectra. Words of wisdom for my friend Spectra. Ah, awesome. All right. So the first card is the Chariot, and the Chariot is victory in a word. Chariot's victory. Chariot is single-minded focus on a goal and allowing nothing to dissuade you from that path. Then the next card is the Four of Wands, and the Four of Wands represents the four poles of the celebration tent. And it's a very stable place, and it's a place where everybody's happy, everything's running smooth, and it's all good. And then the last card is the Hermit. That's a lot of people's favorite card in the deck, among them. And the Hermit is about the inner journey and kind of like cutting yourself out from society, going inside and discovering who you are and learning and learning and learning. And finally, the coolest thing about that card to me is that, while there are a lot of people out there like looking to, like get you in to make that journey their business, the Hermit just went away to like learn and to figure it out. And the brighter his light got, that, like all those people that were out there looking for somebody, like are attracted like moths to a flame. So just stay singularly focused on your goal, and don't let anything get in your way, man. And keep going on the, keep making your inner light bright. Brighter, the brighter. Be a beacon in the world for light and energy and love. All right. Okay. Let's see here. All right. Let's go with Linda. Hey, what's up, Frankie? Okay, Linda, focus hard. Deep breath, bring it down. All right, words of wisdom from my good friend Linda. Words of wisdom from my good friend Linda. Words of wisdom from my good friend Linda. All right, that's an interesting reading. First card is the Wheel of Fortune, and the Wheel of Fortune most of the time is a really good omen of things changing. And if you're down and it sucks, then it's a card of hope that things are already changing and that soon you'll be on top. The wheel never stops turning. It's life. It's a flow, man, of waves of energy, and this card is a great indicator that goodness is on the way. The second card is the Devil, and the Devil's kind of an intense card. People freak out about that because they think it's the whole Christian thing, but this particular image of the Devil really represents it. The astrological sign for this card is Capricorn. It's the ultimate Earth, right? And so what this card usually represents in kind of a wob way is like addiction, and people being addicted to sensory pleasures of the world to the exclusion of their spiritual growth, and they become stuck in a particular place. Like in the Rider-Waite version of the deck, the Devil's sitting up on his throne with the big wings and everything, and he's got two chains in his hand that run down to two little people, a male and a female, and they're naked, and they have a big metal collar around their neck, and you're like, oh man, they're slaves. Wouldn't that suck to be slave to the devil? But what you don't realize is that the collar is huge, and that any second they chose to, they could take it off and leave. And that just kind of represents people staying with stuff they know they need to give up just because it's easier, it feels good, and that it is a word of encouragement to just keep moving forward in your spiritual progress and your growth. And what that will lead to is the sun, which is absolute ultimate victory. Like the sun is wholeness. It's the card that encompasses all of the astrology signs, and it's the one card. Like if you were going to pick a card out of the deck that said success, this card would be that. So you're getting ready to, as you keep shedding and shedding and shedding and shedding, it gets brighter and brighter and brighter, and pretty soon that success is going to roll down the tubes and land right on your desk. Yeah. And success is not always just about money, and that material end of it. Success is also finding that gold inside you and realize that you are invincible, you're pure energy, you're an absolute spark of the true light of the source, and that makes you unique and one of a kind and very, very special. All right. I think that is everyone up for readings. Unless I missed someone, let me know real quick. And yeah. Well, there you go, Linda. She said her first card last week was also the Wheel of Fortune. That's very telling when that kind of like, my version of the tarot is not just let me read a card and dictate your future, but they read energy channels and frequencies, and that's why I connected. I've always connected numerology and music and a bunch of different disciplines to this system. All right. I've got time. All right, Frankie. Yeah, I'll catch you. I've got time for one more, and then we'll have to call it a night. All right, Frankie, get really focused. Still that mind. All right, words of wisdom, my friend Frankie. Words of wisdom, my friend Frankie. Words of wisdom, my friend Frankie. All right. So the Five of Swords. Five of Swords is kind of a gossip lives in the Five of Swords. Backstabbing lives in the Five of Swords. Arguments live in the Five of Swords. So this card is really unstable. And in relationships, there's a potential for really overthinking stuff and taking to heart something that was said. And now you're like thinking about it, it's swords. So it's all about the mind and what you're doing in it. And, you need to kind of just let go of all of that crap and just go back to blank space. And when you find yourself ribbing yourself up into being pissed off about what somebody said, practice the blank space meditation, let it go, and move that frequency on to other stuff. Because when you do, it'll be the Six of Cups, which is about joy and celebration and emotional fulfillment and ways that you feel really great about the world and the people around you. And that comes from inside you, not from outside you. And when you really embrace that fully, it's the 10 of Pentacles. Man, it's been a Pentacles evening. 10 of Pentacles is the singular card that represents wealth more than any other card in the whole deck. And not just wealth, like you get, you win the lottery next week, win a few $1 million, and you go out, you party with all your friends, and then in a month or two, it's gone. This is the kind of wealth that's abiding and lasting abundance. So like it's land, it's property, it's your family, and it's enough money and resources to be able to do good around you and also pass on some to your legacy. So give it up, stop overthinking, enjoy the emotional release of that, and then be ready to reap in some good rewards on all the hard work you put in. So there we go. All right. Wow, time went by so fast. Jan, thank you, man. Really, really appreciate you hanging with us and not going to sleep and sharing your amazing work with you. I really just never get tired of seeing your stuff, and every new thing that you wind up posting just winds up being such a treat for me. So thank you very much. And I'm glad you shared yourself with my crew tonight, man. And I'll look forward to us getting together. And I really would we're long overdue for a collaboration. I sort of dropped the ball on that a little bit, but I'll get back on I've got an idea actually, and I'll be in touch with you in the next few days. All right. So without any further ado, as always, please hit the like, please hit the subscribe, and just take a second to leave a quick comment, even if it's just good, whatever. It really, really helps us out a lot. And if you see this coming up in the next day or two, please share it out with some of your friends. And next week, we've got some more mantras, and I might be talking to ChatGTP too. So we'll see what's going on with that. So until next week. We come to a joyous close of our gathering this evening and send everyone on their happy way. We thank the angels for their input. We thank them for their knowledge and love of the source. And with absolute gratitude for all of it, every single bit, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Absolute unconditional love. And our wish for bliss to the source. Until next week.